Tinubu appoints 20 new aides. Nigeria, Ethiopia swapped $100 million blocked airline funds. Helicopter crash in Nepal leaves 6 tourists dead. Hello and a warm welcome to News Live here on Viewer Television, and my name is Phillips Levin. President Bola Tinubu has hired 20 new aides about 3 weeks after he made the last set of major appointments. The new appointments include those of senior special assistants, SSAs, personal assistants, SPAs, and personal physicians and photographers. Among the new appointees, according to the list seen by newsmen, are veteran journalist Tunde Rahman, who has been designated SSA Media, Abdulaziz, SSA Print Media, and Ibrahim Masari, SSA Political. According to report gathered, the president has issued some of the new aides appointment letters. President Bola Tinubu has sought the approval of the Senate to confirm the newly nominated service chiefs. Now, President Tinubu request was contained in a letter addressed to Senate President Godswill Akpabio and read at the plenary on Tuesday. The letter explained that a review of defense architecture and the appointment of new leaders to work in synergy with one another to achieve the level of optimal performance expected of the military. Tinubu noted that the request will receive the expeditious consideration and confirmation of Nigerian Senate President and distinguished senators. Security operatives of the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe, in collaboration with Tantita Security Services, have set ablaze a vessel intercepted in the Escravos area of Delta State. Now, the vessel, which was carrying barrels of stolen crude oil, was en route to Cameroon with its illicit cargo. The vessel, reportedly owned by Holab Maritime Services Limited, was apprehended at an offshore location. The captain and crew members of the vessel were also taken into custody. The 1,500,000 liters of stolen crude oil was illegally sourced from an offshore oil well in Ondo State, as reported by Captain Warren Inishuo, the Executive Director of Operations and Technical at Tantita Security, and Rear Admiral Olusegun Ferreira, the commander of the Joint Task Force Operation Delta Safe. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and the ongoing Election Petition Tribunal in Kaduna has presented forms EC8A, EC8B, and EC8C of various polling units, wards, and local government areas to the tribunal. The forms comprise Birnin-Gwari, Igabi, Kaduna North, Kubau, Lere, Sabongari, Zaria, and Kudan local government areas. The tribunal had earlier in its sitting on Monday ordered the commission to bring before it the original copies of the said documents, including Form EC8D of the 23 local government areas of the state. Now, based on the application of the petitioners, People's Democratic Party and its candidate Isa Ashiru, in his argument, the lead counsel to PDP and Ashiru, Oluwole Yamu-san, challenged the authenticity of the results from 11 polling units in Birnin-Gwari, 20 in Igabi, 4 in Kaduna North, 44 in Kaduna South, 12 in Kubau, 9 in Lere, 8 in Sabongari, 4 in Zaria, and 5 in Kudan local government areas. Now, some unknown gunmen have reportedly kidnapped a Catholic priest, Reverend Father Joseph Azubike, in Ebonyi State. Now, the cleric was abducted in Sioux Onitsha local government area of Ebonyi State, close to his residence in the area while returning from pastoral duties. The assailants also abducted 3 other persons whose identities could not rather be immediately ascertained. The Catholic Diocese of Abakaliki in the state confirmed Azubuike's abduction in a statement by the diocesan chancellor, Reverend Father Uzoma Okweke, titled Call for Prayers. However, the State Police Command has not issued any official statement on the abduction as at the time of filing this report. The National Youth Council of Nigeria (NYCN) has pledged its commitment to end bunkering activities and other economic sabotage in the Niger Delta. President of the group, Sukubo, made the pledge in a statement after sensitization campaign by the group in Akukutu local government area of Rivers State. Now, Sukubu urged the members of the communities to desist from illegal activities that could endanger their lives, pollute their environment, and destroy their livelihoods. He also said the campaign aimed across the 9 communities of Kula Kingdom was to achieve zero tolerance for bunkering, chemical fishing, and other economic sabotage in the area. According to him, the sensitization became necessary due to associate risks and the negative impact on the nation's economy occasioned by oil bunkering activities and chemical fishing. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has advised Nigerians to minimize the use of interlocking bricks and create green areas in their homes to avoid flooding in communities. The head of the agency, Abuja Operations Office, Justin Wazureng, gave the advice in an interview with journalists in Abuja. He said, although charming and appealing, it is better to have interlocking bricks only in walkways or driveways, floor, and in homes. He said NEMA always discouraged people from building on natural waterways, and with the knowledge of water and soil, if one prevents water from infiltrating into the soil, there will be high volume with high velocity of water. He further said it is important for Nigerians to cultivate the habit of having green areas around homes and communities in order to reduce flood. And now we'll be going on a break, and when we return, we'll be looking at court remands nursing mother for allegedly stabbing husband to death. We have details of this and more after this break.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm at the Envoy Hotel, Diplomatic Drive 305, here for a business weekend. It's been an amazing stay. Conference hall and business facilities here are stylish and innovative. The Envoy Hotel is luxury, esoteric, opulence, for ultimate comfort.
more than just a place to stay. We are an icon of comfort, style, and thoughtful luxury. We are Envoy Hotel.
Welcome back, and it's good to know that you are still with us on News Live. Now, before we move forward, here is a recap of our top stories. Security operatives set vessel carrying stolen oil to Cameroon ablaze. And also gunmen kidnapped Catholic priest, 3 others in Ebonyi. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Taurid Lagbaja, has rewarded 7 officers and 5 soldiers for various acts of valor. Lagbaja rewarded the officers with medals and special commendation letters at the year's Army Day celebration in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Among those recognized and honored was Brigadier General Everest Ifanyi Okoro of the Infantry Corps, who is the commander, 13th Brigade Nigerian Army, Calabar. According to his citation, Okoro's dynamic and bold actions led to discovering and destroying the IPOB training camp in Cross River State. He also conducted operations that led to the interception of a large cache of explosive materials and ammunition in Amana in northern Cross Rivers during the 2023 general elections. Now, Taraba State Governor Agbu Kefas has declared free primary and secondary educations in the state. Now, the governor made the declaration in Ukari local government area of Taraba State when he paid an impromptu visit to some government primary and secondary schools in the state. Well, here's the report.
Governor Bukefas has declared that all secondary schools in the state will operate free of charge starting from the next academic term. The governor, who was speaking in Ukari when he paid an impromptu visit to some primary and secondary schools, as he assured the students and pupils of quality education standards, adding that his administration will ensure the provision of a conducive environment for them to learn. Kefas disclosed that the education sector in the state will be upgraded to standard and urged the students to concentrate on their studies in order to achieve good results.
By the grace of God, we'll return to school back to boarding school. Secondary school, primary school, free of charge. So, no excuse when under the tree, going to that side or moving on the road that they drove you from school because of cookies. Next time, no cookies. We'll make sure we provide all the necessary things we need so that you can concentrate on your studies.
Some of the schools visited by the governor include Government Day Secondary School, Wapang Ngaku, Ebenezer Primary School Okari, St. Mary Primary School, and GSS Okari, among others. The governor took time to move around the schools to assess the structures and sat in the classrooms with students and pupils. The visit had top government functionaries from the state in the governor's entourage. Linda Guana, VOA TV News, Jalingo.
Now, Domac Group International, in partnership with the Association of Nigerian Students in the Tertiary Institutions, will in August 2023 train over 35,000 students with requisite knowledge, training, and exposure to entrepreneurial skills. The program, which was endorsed by the veteran Nollywood actress Tonto Dike through the Domac Entrepreneurship Summit, DES, aims at providing the Nigerian students the platform to secure their future both now and after their academic life, where they are expected to be exposed to strategic programs in training, empowerment, and mentorship. Now, Chairman of Domac Group International, Dr. Kingsley Azonobi, who briefed journalists in Abuja to herald the event, noted that the training will also involve package where competitors will win a cash prize in addition to being Domac ambassadors.
History is about we created in this nation. I'm glad to be part of this history. I'm also glad that you all are also part of this great history. This has been proven to me that indeed Domac dreams and the dreams of each and every one of us indeed comes true. As my dreams have come true, your dreams will surely come true. I want to listen to our. It is estimated that 60% of Nigeria's population are under the age of 25, making it the youngest country in Africa. As this demographic continues to grow, so too the demand for consumer goods, service, and retail offerings. Ironically, Nigeria has the second highest number of unemployed youth in the world. The global youth unemployment index has shown that 53% of the youth are unemployed in Nigeria. You can imagine 53% is an incredible number, a very small number. You know, a lot of people are brought up to decide who is the role to do something like that. But we said today that we have our center. You have to go through our strategy test. And we realize that most of them are having failed to their thought before. And we say we need to encourage people that have genuine sort of income and bring a genuine business so that we can identify with them and we will be ready and so on. What will come after.
Now, a 50-year-old man, Abdullahi Usman, has been arraigned in an Ogudu Magistrate Court, Lagos, for allegedly obtaining the sum of 6.8 million naira from one Bariagu under false pretense. And prosecuting counsel Donjo Pereze told court that the defendant committed the offenses in September 2022 at Mile 12 Market, Ketu. Now, Perezi said that the defendant obtained the sum of 14.4 million naira from the complainant under the false pretense of supplying him 600 bags of rice. He further revealed that after supplying the complainant 323 bags of rice at 24,000 naira each, the defendant withheld the remaining 277 bags worth 6.65 million naira for no reason. The offense, according to him, is punishable under Section 287 and 314 of the Criminal Law of Lagos State 2015. Justice James Omotosho of the Federal High Court in Abuja has handed over police lawyer Ibrahim Muhammad to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). Now, according to reports gathered, The lawyer is being investigated for filing criminal charges against former Minister of Aviation Stella Odua in the name of the EFCC without proper authorization from the anti-graft agency. While appearing in court, the judge questioned how the charge was filed by the EFCC in June 2023 but being persecuted by the police, and demanded to know whether a reasonable man will accept the prosecutor's explanation. The judge ordered the anti-graft agency to investigate the prosecution counsel and schedule a follow-up hearing. Additionally, the counsel Ibrahim Muhammad was directed to report to the EFCC. Remember, you're still watching news live on Viewer Television. Now we'll be going on a break, and when we return, we'll be looking at business and international news. Don't go nowhere.
If you cannot maintain a child, do not give birth to him.
Children are not meant to beg. They are meant to be nurtured and cared for. They are meant to be protected, and they have rights.
That's child maltreatment. That's child abuse. You don't, chain a child.
I am from the north, and I know the number of almajiris that are lingering in the streets.
What has gone on in terms of the almajiri system in the north, and how that has affected the development scape of the north. It's heartbreaking to all of us.
Quick reminder that you are watching news live here on Viewer Television. Now on business news, the Ethiopian and Nigerian central banks have agreed to swap funds trapped in their respective states, which will see Ethiopian Airlines recover up to $100 million trapped in Nigeria. Now, both countries have blocked a significant amount of airline funds with a low allocation of US dollars to their aviation industries due to severe foreign currency shortages. The agreement between the central banks involve exchanging Ethiopian Airlines funds in Nigeria for Dangote Cement fund trapped in Ethiopia. Ethiopian Airlines is the largest foreign operator in Nigeria and a significant contributor to the development of the country's air transport market. Nigerian banks holds about $180 million of Ethiopian revenue. Ethiopian can access blocked funds in Nigeria through the swap agreement, including money owed to the flagged carrier. Now, no fewer than 28 states have failed to attract foreign investments as the value of capital importation into Nigeria grew by 6.78% in the first quarter of 2023. This development was captured in a report released by the National Bureau of Statistics. Now, according to the National Bureau of Statistics, the total capital imported stood at $1.13 billion, up from the $1.06 billion recorded in the fourth quarter of 2022. Lagos State attracted $704.87 million, representing 62% of the total capital inflow in Nigeria. Now, the FCT emerged as the second top investment destination with $410.27 million, representing 36% of the local capital inflow in the country. The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board (NCDMB) has reiterated its commitment to achieving its target of 70%. This is as the board vows to ensure full implementation of the Nigerian oil and gas industry content development (NOGID-CD) Act 2010. The executive secretary of the board, Simbi Wobote, said these at the 2023 Nigerian Oil and Gas Energy Week in Abuja. He also encouraged oil and gas industry players to familiarize themselves with the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act, NOGIC Act, as well as the Nigerian Content Regulation. And away from Nigeria, 6 people on board a helicopter carrying Mexican tourists were killed when it crashed near Mount Everest in Nepal, authorities have confirmed. The helicopter crashed in the La Majura area. All the bodies were recovered and flown out of the area, said Basanta Batare, the chief government administrator in the area. The 5 tourists were Mexican nationals and the pilot was Nepalese, the Civil Aviation Authority of Nepal said in a statement. The Mexican included 2 men and 3 women. 2 boys have died after they were swept away by waters from an open dam in Oklahoma City. Now, officials said the incident occurred when the officials from Oklahoma City Fire Department were needed for a water rescue emergency near the backside of Lake Overholsa Dam, a large reservoir located within the city limits in the northwest Oklahoma City. Firefighters confirmed that they were able to rescue the 2 boys from the ledge before beginning their search for the other 2 missing victims who were pulled under the heavy currents. A short time later, firefighters were able to locate one of the boys, but said he did not survive. The Oklahoma City Fire Department and Oklahoma City Police Department continued searching for the other missing bodies for several hours before confirming that they had found him and he did not survive either. The government of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu forged ahead with the controversial move despite mass demonstrations since the reform were proposed in January. Protesters blocked roads across Israel and gathered at Ben Gurion Airport near Tel Aviv, with the police reporting more than 40 arrests during the morning. Traffic was also brought to a standstill by protesters along a highway near Medellin, a town between Jerusalem and Israel's commercial hub Tel Aviv. Near Parliament in Jerusalem, more protesters waved the blue and white national flag and benched drums while police deployed mounted officers. Now, Israel protest leaders had announced a day of mobilization in anticipation of the parliamentary vote, with dozens of rallies expected across the country. And that's all we have on News Live. But before we go, a quick look at our top stories for today. You've heard Tinubu appoints 20 new aides. And also Nigeria, Ethiopia swap $100 million blockage airline funds. Plus, helicopter crashed in Nepal, leaves 6 tourists dead. Well, thank you, of course, for your time and your company. My name is Philip Sliven. Please do enjoy the rest of our programs and have a great evening.